Christianity, now the largest religion in the world, is followed by over 2 billion people. Its reach spans continents, from the bustling cities of North America to the far corners of Africa and Latin America, and into the heart of Europe. However, one region where Christianity struggled significantly to make its mark is Asia. Today, while Christianity is thriving in places like South Korea and the Philippines, it has largely remained a minority faith across much of the continent. The history of Christianity's spread into Asia is marked by fascinating encounters, some successful, others not so much. In this video, we'll explore why Christianity faced such challenges in Asia and uncover the factors that influenced its limited growth there. From cultural resistance to political opposition, the journey of Christianity in Asia is far more complex than you might think. Before we dive into why Christianity struggled in Asia, we must first understand its beginnings. Christianity began as a small, Jewish sect in 1st century Judea, in what is today Israel and Palestine. The central figure of Christianity, Jesus of Nazareth, preached messages of love, salvation, and eternal life. His teachings, although initially local in scope, eventually spread beyond Judea due to the efforts of the apostles. The apostles, Peter, Paul, and others, traveled extensively, preaching Christianity throughout the Roman Empire. They traveled across the Mediterranean world, establishing churches in regions like Syria, Turkey, Greece, and Italy. It was through this spread into Europe that Christianity began to take root and grow into the global religion we know today. It was not long before the faith reached the distant shores of Europe, where it would eventually become the dominant religion. Christianity's movement eastward into Asia began relatively early, starting with the apostles themselves. According to some traditions, the apostle Thomas traveled to India to preach the gospel in the 1st century CE. This was the first documented attempt to spread Christianity in Asia, though evidence for Thomas's direct work is debated by historians. In the following centuries, Christianity's eastern reach extended further. Missionaries known as the Nestorians, followers of a branch of Eastern Christianity, began spreading the faith through Persia, Central Asia, and even China. The most famous early Christian missionary to China was Alapin, a Nestorian priest who arrived in Chang'an, modern-day Xi'an, in 635 CE, during the Tang dynasty. Emperor Taizong of China welcomed him and allowed the establishment of a Christian church in the capital. This brief period of Christianity's acceptance in China was marked by the spread of Nestorian Christianity in the country. However, after the Tang dynasty, the rise of the later imperial dynasties saw resistance from both the government and local religious institutions, leading to a gradual decline of Christianity in China. While Christianity's journey in China would have moments of resurgence, such as during the Yuan dynasty under Mongol rule, it would face continuous ebb and flow. This pattern of growth and stagnation in China would set the tone for the broader trajectory of Christianity's spread in Asia. While the story of Christianity's spread into Asia is filled with both initial success and ultimate setbacks, the question remains, why did Christianity struggle to take root so much in Asia? There are several factors that explain the religion's limited growth in this vast and diverse region. One of the main reasons Christianity struggled in Asia was the deep-rooted presence of established religious systems, particularly Buddhism, Hinduism, and Confucianism, in the region. In South and Southeast Asia, Hinduism and Buddhism had dominated the cultural and spiritual landscapes for centuries before Christianity even arrived. These religions were not just spiritual practices, but integral parts of cultural identity, influencing everything from art and literature to social structures. In India, where Christianity first made serious inroads, Hinduism remained the dominant force. With its vast array of gods, philosophies, and practices, Hinduism provided a deeply integrated worldview that was difficult to challenge. Likewise, Buddhism, especially in countries like Thailand, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and Vietnam, was not only a religion but a way of life. The Buddhist emphasis on meditation, personal enlightenment, and non-materialism created a spiritual framework that Christianity's message of salvation through Christ couldn't easily replace. In East Asia, the situation was no less challenging. China, Japan, and Korea all had their own unique systems of thought that predated Christianity. Confucianism, with its focus on family values, respect for authority, and societal harmony, played a significant role in shaping Chinese culture. Taoism, with its emphasis on living in harmony with the Tao, the Way, also guided the ethical and spiritual practices of many Chinese people. These systems were not just religious in nature, but formed the very foundation of social and political order. Introducing a new religion like Christianity, which proposed the worship of a single, transcendent God and an afterlife based on faith and salvation, was at odds with the more integrated, philosophical nature of Eastern belief systems. Another key factor in Christianity's difficulty in spreading across Asia was the political resistance from various empires and kingdoms. In many Asian countries, the state and religion were intricately intertwined, and foreign religious practices were viewed with suspicion or outright hostility. In China, Christianity's initial acceptance under the Tang dynasty was followed by periodic resistance. Later, the rise of the Ming dynasty saw a marked decline in the tolerance for foreign religions. The Ming rulers were eager to solidify their political power and strengthen China's traditional culture, and Christianity, especially the Western variety, was seen as a potential destabilizing influence. In Japan, the early success of Christianity in the 16th century under Portuguese missionaries quickly came to an end when the Tokugawa shogunate took power in the early 17th century. The shogunate viewed Christianity as a foreign threat to its rule and began persecuting Christian converts. Christianity was outlawed, and missionaries were expelled. Those who remained faced intense persecution, and Christianity was driven underground for centuries. In India, while the Portuguese and later the British colonized large portions of the subcontinent, Christianity's spread was slowed by the pre-existing dominance of Hinduism and the political complexity of India's regional kingdoms. Despite the efforts of European colonial powers to spread Christianity, it never gained the kind of widespread acceptance that it did in the Americas or Europe. Another challenge Christianity faced in Asia was the cultural difference in worldviews. Christianity, particularly in its Western form, emphasized the personal relationship between the individual and God, salvation through faith, and the moral necessity of adhering to a doctrine of sin and redemption. These ideas often clashed with the more communal and philosophical approaches to spirituality found in the East. Eastern religions like Buddhism and Taoism placed a strong emphasis on the concept of enlightenment, understanding the true nature of existence, and achieving inner peace. These ideas were very different from Christianity's message of sin, atonement, and eternal life. The individualistic nature of Christianity was often seen as foreign to cultures that had deeply rooted communal traditions and philosophies. Concepts like the eternal soul, sin, and salvation by grace through faith were sometimes seen as incompatible with the more collective and philosophical worldview of Asia. Moreover, the spread of Christianity was often perceived as a form of Western cultural imperialism. As Western powers sought to colonize and control Asian territories, Christianity became associated with political subjugation and foreign domination. This negative association likely contributed to a resistance to the faith among local populations. Colonialism played a significant role in Christianity's spread across Asia, but it also contributed to the challenges the religion faced. In countries like India, Indonesia, and the Philippines, Christianity was introduced by European colonizers, who sought to use the religion as a tool for social control. While this made Christianity an important force in these regions, it also created significant resentment toward the faith. For many people, Christianity became linked with colonial oppression and foreign rule, making it difficult to view the religion as anything other than a symbol of Western domination. In the Philippines, Christianity found a significant foothold largely because of the long period of Spanish colonization, which lasted for over 300 years. Catholic missionaries converted large segments of the population, and today, the Philippines is one of the most Christianized countries in Asia. However, this success was largely due to the direct connection between Spanish colonial power and the spread of Christianity. When the Americans took control in the late 19th century, Protestant missionaries also made significant strides, but the history of Christianity's spread in the Philippines remains deeply intertwined with colonialism. While Christianity's overall impact in Asia has been relatively limited compared to Europe, there have been notable exceptions. In the Philippines, as mentioned earlier, Christianity is overwhelmingly the dominant religion, with estimates of Christian adherents ranging from 78% to 90% of the population. The long history of Spanish colonization, followed by American influence, played a crucial role in shaping the religious landscape of the Philippines. Unlike many other Asian countries, the Philippines had no competing religious systems to challenge Christianity's dominance. In South Korea, Christianity also saw a remarkable rise in the 20th century, fueled by both foreign missionary activity and domestic religious movements. Today, South Korea is one of the most Christianized countries in Asia, with large Protestant and Catholic populations. The success of Christianity in South Korea is often attributed to factors like rapid modernization, the influence of Western missionary efforts, and the country's embrace of Christian values during its post-war reconstruction. In conclusion, Christianity's path in Asia has been one of complex interaction with diverse cultures, established religious systems, and powerful political forces. While it struggled to take root across much of the continent, Christianity did leave a lasting impact in certain regions, particularly where it was introduced alongside colonial powers. Despite its challenges, the presence of Christianity in Asia remains significant, even if it remains a minority religion in many countries. Understanding why Christianity struggled in Asia helps us better appreciate the diverse religious landscapes of the region today. Christianity's challenges in Asia reveal the deep intersection of religion, culture, politics, and history, offering us important lessons about the complexity of religious expansion. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to History and Curiosities for more insights into the fascinating world of historical events and cultural stories.